What's up guys, it's Maverick here, welcome back to the channel, and it is time for episode 10 of Deca-Dence. So, last episode, Kaburagi and Natsume successfully infiltrated the Godot production facility, and of course, with the help of many friends, they have managed to stop the entire process, right? And, special shout out to Sark, he'll forever be in our hearts for his sacrifices. Now, with that being said, the story is not over yet. Natsume is just about to learn the truth about the entire situation. Not really sure how well she's gonna take it. I hope for the sake of, getting to the good stuff that we're not gonna get too over dramatical here, even though I think that is, it's kind of unavoidable. But even more interesting to me would be how she comes out of the situation and what they eventually decide to do about this entire situation. So I think this sabotage, this destruction of the Godot protection facility is just the first step. Probably the next one is going to bring this entire veil down, right? This entire concept that, hey, the world is being controlled by these, company who may or may not be aliens here, and so allow the whole world to know the truth. And hey, I kind of get the feeling that everything the corporation says is just propaganda anyways, and probably what we've been learning so far about this world is not the real truth at all. So, without further ado, let's get right into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, and of course, we gotta see if, oh, hold on. Hold that thought. It's a fake! And opening? Oh, we're not getting the opening? You're hyperventilating. Yeah. Now opening. Yeah. Okay, so much for that talk about not overreacting and over-dramatizing. She hyperventilated. I mean, to be fair, this is a huge shock, right? I'm gonna give her the, I'm not that heartless. It's just that, for the sake of the anime, I want to see what happens next. Well, since she's just collapsed here, perhaps they're gonna get taken in by the security detail? By the way, this song is on Spotify and YouTube as well, and it's an absolute banger. And hey, remember my prediction. I think we still have one more Deca-Dence punch before the end of all this. And there's gotta be one, right? Brake system. Is that like a pun? Like break as in put on the brakes, and brake as in braking. Oh. Huh. Log out. So actually these are still cyborgs, just using avatars. Yep. Oh. It's not error code 404. You gotta make a decision soon, dude. Oh hey, they got out of it unscathed. So they were deliberately killed? Oh. You would have wanted to be blue-pilled instead? Aww. Yep. Poor little pipe. So what are you gonna do now, Kabaraki? Logging off? Certainly ironic. Writing one last letter? Alright. Do it the old-fashioned way. Manual search. Oh, or they could, of course, like, pretend it's an order from the higher-ups. And... what? Oh. It actually cloned itself. Holy shit. Yeah, they could just, use their authority and hand down like a search warrant or something, or even arrest warrant towards Natsume. There's definitely some who will say that ignorance is bliss. Now that's the entire debate in the Matrix, right? Red pill versus blue pill. And considering that there's people right now in real life very much willing to live a virtual life instead, you could argue that Yeah, you could argue that that's not the wrong thing either. Ew. Man, these security details are like the stupidest. Oh wait, they are actually literally going through the big hole. Wow. They're out in the world! And not in their avatars! Yeah, but if they still have their chips within them, wouldn't they be able to still be tracked? Hmm. Pour one out for the homies. Ooh. I guess this is... We've got some alien stuff going on here. I mean like the, in the movie Alien. Oh, so being registered as a bug, that means that there's other cleaners, sort of like what Kubaragi was doing before, right? Who's going to be targeting Natsume. It's Kabaragi's letter. Yeah, so Kaburagi was doing something like that, right? That means there are others as well. You'll be alright. You tell her, Natsume. You tell her. I'm pretty sure some assassins are going to be waiting right outside the door. Oh. Right there. Huh. Now here's the actual Big Bug Guddle. Okay, so I guess this is where we have the last punch of the Deca-Dence. Okay, that's some pretty shitty 3D, but alright. Yeah, I think that's the ending. So, I'll see you guys after this. Okay, so as expected, we did spend much of this episode in the sort of denial phase of things, right? In regards to Natsume, learning about the entire truth of this world, etc., etc. But, like I said, you can't really blame her for that, right? This is definitely a big shock to anyone, you know, considering what actually happened and what implications that actually has, right? So, I am actually quite glad that they didn't really make the situation much more dramatic or much more, you know, it could have easily been a case where Natsume was crying and shouting and throwing and getting into bursts of rage, you know, that kind of thing. Very, very over dramatic. I actually enjoyed this a lot more, basically just being a little bit depressed and, you know, questioning life and all that, but still getting back on her feet in the end there. And in fact, even her her thoughts about saying, hey, I wish I never knew about the truth in the first place. I can actually relate with that. In Matrix, this is a classic red pill, blue pill situation, right? So, in case there's any one of you who have not seen the Matrix before, it's, I'm not going to spoil it, but basically the concept is learning the truth about the entire world, or continue to live a free, well, not free, but continuing to live a very sheltered, a very comfortable life, and in fact, where in case where you can do anything and be anything that you want, right? We'd like to think that most of us would want to know the truth about the situation, so we'd like to be red-pilled, as to speak. But to be honest, consider it this way. If there was a chance to, right now, in this real world, if there was a chance for you to actually start participating in sort of like a fantasy game or something, something like, let's say something like Sword Art Online, right? Where you can log in, be a gamer, and essentially live your second life within the game, right? You can get to go on quests, kill monsters, get swag, get great loot or something, or whatever genre that you would like, either sci-fi or fantasy, etc., right? How many would actually consider going into that kind of world? Or hey, say for instance, most people who are watching this and watching my channel probably pretty much enjoy manga and anime as well, right? If you had a chance to get into that kind of world and leave this world behind, would you take it, right? And I think for a lot of people, the answer would actually be yes. So, it's sort of the same situation here, right? Yeah, sure, they are being sort of, being lied to the entire, in regards to the entire thing and whatnot, but they're still living a relatively good life, right? It's not like they know to expect any other kind of life. So continuing on with what they had before, is that such a bad thing? These are definitely some philosophical questions, and it really has more to do with what you value from life, and so on and so forth, right? So I don't really think there's a right answer to this question here, and if you do choose to be blue-pilled, I don't think I can, from my view anyways, in my opinion, you can't really criticize someone who doesn't want to learn the truth, because hey, maybe that's just not what they value from life here. But in any case, here, Natsume, she's learned about it, and obviously to her, the biggest thing that she values is her relationship with Kaburagi. So, at the end of the day, she's fine with anything as long as it's still allowing her to have a connection with Kaburagi. That's what's real to her, right? So that's a nice little end to her depression there. And I gotta say, I really love Natsume's kind of bounce back from this situation. I really like the way that her character is, right? Reading through Kaburagi's letter and whatnot, you could also easily turn this into a situation where you start crying or start getting very, very emotionally moved or touched or that kind of stuff. But the way that Natsume actually treated it, getting kind of with that cheeky attitude and whatnot, I love it. I really love it. So, indeed, I think Natsume is a great character. The way that she handles herself, right, it's definitely not cliche in any way, and it's fun and refreshing. So, kudos to her, right? So, anyways, fighting against the system, well, since we now do have an actual bug that's a monstrous bug, if you will, I do kind of wonder if that's going to help destroy the system in some sort of way, right? Obviously, we're going to have to take that bug down, that Gadol down at the very end there, and that's probably what's going to activate Deca-Dence again for one last final punch with its ultimate weapon. But will it actually take down the system with it in the process, right? I think that's what's going to be upcoming in the next few episodes. And how exactly is our main character is going to face it, right? Like, right now, Natsume has already been found out, and Kaburagi can't log into his avatar anymore, right? So what's going to happen there? So I'm thinking probably Kaburagi is going to choose to log in to the other avatar, right? The other one that he used to contact Natsume before, and then before the end of all this, we'll see Kaburagi in his actual cyborg self meet up with Natsume, and then probably Natsume being the girl that she is, she's probably going to be very cheeky, taking a very cheeky attitudes towards Cyborg Kaburagi as well, right? Just due to, they're now, it's the tables have turned, and Kaburagi is just this small, tiny cyborg compared to Natsume. And that's going to be fun at the very end. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still got to go through the bug and the system. So, anyways, that's it for Deca-Dence episode 10. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next time as well. Bye-bye.